This valuation slide captures Honeywell's story as a premium industrial compounder that the market keeps repricing between high-quality franchise and already fully valued. Historically, Honeywell has earned a better-than-average multiple because investors trust the business mix, margin discipline, cash generation, and management's ability to reshape the portfolio over time. That part of the story is real. Since Vimal Kapoor took over, Honeywell has announced roughly $14 billion of accretive acquisitions, completed multiple portfolio actions, and exited 2025 with backlog of about $37.5 billion. But the historical mistake investors have made more than once is paying for Honeywell like every segment will accelerate at the same time. That is rarely how this company works. Honeywell is diversified, but it is not immune to cycles. Aerospace can be strong while industrial automation is soft. Building automation can be healthy while process markets pause. So when the market gets too excited about simplification, AI exposure, or a cleaner breakup story, the stock can move ahead of what the earnings base is ready to support. Now to the present. Honeywell is trading around $233.55, and with 2026 adjusted EPS guidance of $10.35 to $10.65, the market is valuing it at roughly 22 times forward earnings. That is not a distressed multiple, and it is not a skeptical setup. It tells you investors are already giving Honeywell credit for aerospace strength, portfolio separation, and the possibility that a more focused structure unlocks higher valuation. Your chart shows that clearly too. The stock is sitting above the 15x fair value path and even above the 21x normal value line. And there are reasons for that confidence. Honeywell's fourth quarter showed strong aerospace and building automation demand. 2025 sales rose to $37.4 billion, adjusted EPS reached $9.78, and management guided for 2026 sales of $38.80 to $39.80 billion with adjusted EPS of $10.35 to $10.65. The aerospace spin-off is now expected in Q3 2026, and investor days for aerospace and automation are scheduled for June, which keeps the separation narrative in front of the market. So the key question is no longer whether Honeywell is a good company. It is whether the stock has already priced in too much of the good news. Near term, investors are heading into Q1 results on April 23 with real expectations embedded in the share price, even as management has recently flagged temporary Middle East shipping disruptions that could delay some revenue recognition. Longer term, the upside case is cleaner valuation, better segment focus, and stronger capital allocation after separation. The downside case is simpler. If automation recovery stays uneven, if separation friction eats into the story, or if Honeywell remains merely excellent but expensive, then the stock may need time rather than excitement. Bottom line, Honeywell looks like a quality business trading on confidence, not on doubt. Let's go straight to the risks, because with Honeywell the issue is not whether this is a weak business. The issue is whether a very good business is entering a year where execution has to be nearly perfect. The biggest risk is separation execution. Honeywell is preparing to split aerospace and automation, and that sounds simple on paper, but in practice these transactions can create friction, stranded costs, temporary dyssynergies, management distraction, and one-time expenses that end up lasting longer than investors expect. If the breakup story gets messier than the market hopes, the stock can derate even if the core businesses remain healthy. The second risk is valuation itself. Honeywell is not priced like a turnaround. At roughly $233.55 and around 22x 2026 guided adjusted EPS, the market is already assuming a high level of durability and strategic success. That means the stock is more vulnerable to disappointment than many investors may think. A good quarter may not be enough if expectations are already elevated. Another major risk is that automation remains uneven. In 2025, industrial automation sales were down 6% for the full year, while aerospace and building automation were much stronger. If investors keep waiting for a broad-based acceleration that doesn't arrive, the sum of the parts argument becomes less powerful. Honeywell may still be solid operationally, but the narrative weakens if one of the future standalone pillars lacks momentum. Then there is aerospace normalization risk. Aerospace has been carrying a lot of the story, helped by strong commercial aftermarket demand, defense and space strength, and delayed aircraft deliveries keeping older fleets in service longer. That is a great setup, until it becomes the base case everyone assumes. If aftermarket growth cools, or if mix becomes less favorable, investors could discover that one exceptional segment was doing too much of the heavy lifting. Finally, there is the risk of operational noise. integration from acquisitions like Sundyne, ongoing portfolio reshaping, cost inflation, revenue timing issues, and geopolitical disruptions. None of these alone has to break the story. But taken together, they can reduce the clean, premium narrative that Honeywell currently enjoys. Key takeaway: the biggest danger for Honeywell in 2026 is not collapse. It is a high-quality company failing to outperform a high-quality expectation. Now the opportunity side, because Honeywell is no longer just a steady industrial. It is increasingly a portfolio transition story, and that matters for valuation. In the short term, the most obvious opportunity is that aerospace keeps doing the heavy lifting. Commercial aftermarket remained strong, defense and space demand stayed healthy, and backlog ended 2025 above $37 billion. If that engine keeps running while the market gets more clarity on the separation, Honeywell can continue earning a premium multiple even before the breakup is complete. Second, there is a very real catalyst opportunity. Honeywell has Q1 earnings on April 23, Aerospace Investor Day in early June, and Automation Investor Day in mid-June. Those events matter because they can turn a broad breakup thesis into a more detailed valuation case. Once investors can model the businesses separately, some of the parts upside becomes easier to argue, and easier for the market to reward. Third, building automation may quietly matter more than many investors assume. Honeywell has already pointed to continued strength there, and Reuters reported management highlighting data centers as a growing revenue contributor. That creates a cleaner secular growth angle than the market used to associate with Honeywell. It is not just about old-line industrial exposure anymore. Parts of the company are tied to digital infrastructure, energy efficiency, safety, and software-enabled control systems. Long-term, the biggest opportunity is focus. Honeywell has already spun off advanced materials, plans to separate aerospace and automation, and has been reshaping the portfolio through acquisitions like Sundyne while pursuing the Johnson Matthey Catalyst Technologies deal. If management executes, investors may end up owning businesses that look less like a conglomerate and more like focused leaders with clearer capital allocation and stronger strategic narratives. That is how valuation gaps close. Honeywell's upside is not just earn a bit more next year. The bigger opportunity is that earnings quality, business focus, and valuation clarity improve together. If that happens, today's premium may not be the ceiling, it may be the bridge to a higher quality multiple. Honeywell's analyst picture is constructive, but not cleanly bullish. You've got 3 strong buys and 12 buys, which tells you a clear majority still likes the long-term setup. But at the same time, 9 holds and 2 strong sells show that a meaningful part of the street is not chasing the stock here. And that split makes sense. The bullish camp is looking at aerospace strength, backlog, breakup optionality, and the chance that Honeywell unlocks a better sum of the parts valuation as aerospace and automation move toward separation in 2026. The cautious camp is looking at the same stock and saying, yes, great company, but the valuation is already rich, automation still needs to prove itself, and execution risk is real in a separation year. Honeywell's own 2026 adjusted EPS guide is $10.35 to $10.65, while the stock is already around $233.55. So expectations are not low. So the takeaway from analyst ratings is simple. Sentiment is positive but not euphoric. Honeywell is respected more than loved. That usually means the next move depends less on reputation and more on delivery. If management keeps executing, the bulls can still win. If not, the hold camp starts looking smarter.